Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a kneeling position. Bring one hand to rest on your lower abdomen and bring the other hand to rest behind your skull. Now with your two hands placed, you can allow your eyes to close. Start to bring your focus to your breath. And with these two hands placed, you can really start to think about the line of your posture. So you really want to think that your skull is aligned right over your shoulders, right over your ribs, and right over your hips. And with your hands in place, you can just slightly manipulate your skull and your pelvis, or just feel the connection between your skull and your pelvis. Now release and bring yourself forward to an all fours position and start to work through cat and cow. So on your inhale, arch the spine, lift the gaze, and on the exhale, contract for a cat spine. Take this a few more times. Feel free to bend through the elbows and find any miscellaneous movement that might feel great in your body today. Just whatever you need here. You can buzz through the lips or move around through your head and your neck. You can find a deep bend in your elbows. And then meet back in a neutral tabletop position. Extend your right leg so it goes straight back behind you. Now try to keep your hips, your pelvis completely still, and then step your left leg so it comes straight back behind you. Don't move. And then lower your left knee back, lower your right knee back. We swap sides. Extend your left leg, keep your hips still and stable, extend your right leg and hold. Lower your right knee, lower your left knee. We repeat, extend the right leg, extend your left leg, bring your left knee down, bring your right knee down. Extend your left leg, extend your right leg, bring your right knee down, left knee down. One more time each side. Extend your right leg, extend your left leg, left knee down, right knee down. Last time, left leg long, right knee down, and left knee down. And then from here, flip your toes under, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Take a few moments in this first downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal through your feet, move around a little bit through your head, neck, and shoulders, and then roll yourself forward to a high plank position. Bend your knees, send your hips back, down dog. Repeat that circular motion. Roll forward, high plank. Bend your knees, hips back, down dog. Last one. Roll forward, high plank, ripple through the spine, bend your knees. And now we reverse that. So bend your knees deeply in your down dog, roll yourself forward to high plank, push back up, downward facing dog. Two more times, bend your knees a lot, slide yourself forward, high plank, push your hips up, downward facing dog. One last time, bend your knees a lot, just finding some nice fluidity into the spine, roll yourself forward, high plank, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, start to walk your feet up towards your fingers. You're in a ragdoll forward fold. Soften through your knees, drop your head. Open your arms and interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. You can keep your fists near your lower back, or you can release your fists down. And feel free to take a little bit of movement here. Take an easy sway from side to side through the torso and keep a soft bend with your knees. Really allow your head and your neck to be super heavy, super long. And now release your hands, bend your knees a lot, and move yourself to a chair pose. Your hips are low. Bring your hands to prayer and then start to alternate lifting your heels. Lift your right heel, lift your left heel. So we're finding a little bit of balance challenge here, also a little bit of calf and ankle strengthening. Try to keep your hips as still as possible. Hands at prayer can be very centering. Press your palms together. Take one more time each side. Stay low in the hips. Reach your arms straight up overhead. Exhale, fold down, release. Take a moment in this forward fold. Allow yourself to be heavy. And then soften through your knees and step your left foot far back behind you. You're coming into a 90-90 lunge position. So your right knee is right over your right shin. Reach your arms up overhead. Bring your hands to prayer and rotate your left elbow down to your right thigh. Push your top palm into your bottom palm. Find a little more rotation through your torso. Energize through the crown of your head. You could stay with your palms together, or you can release your arms. From here, we move into a modified side plank. You'll bring both of your hands so they come inside of your right leg. Swivel your left shin and walk your hands over to the left as you extend your right leg. Reach your right arm over your right ear and then really try to press the outside edge of your right foot into the mat. Now the same thing we set up earlier, bend your right elbow, bring it behind your right head and try to keep your head and your hips in the same line. Push into the outer edge of your right foot and make sure that your hips aren't falling back behind you, but you're really allowing them to push forward. Now re-extend your right arm. You can make a fist. Try to keep your head and your neck neutral. And then turn out through your right toes, pull your right heel a little bit further in. Just gonna flip around so you can see this a little bit better. You're in kind of a half squat position. You can flip your back toes, reach your right arm way in front of your right shin and reach your left arm up and overhead. This is going to get a really nice, deep and beautiful stretch into your side and back left rib cage and even into your lower left back. You can allow your right ear to drop towards your right shoulder and just continue to reach through your left fingertips. You can also feel a little nice stretch maybe into your right Achilles and calf and then also into the right inner thigh. Now bring your left hand down, step onto your right foot, you're in a forward fold. Soften through your knees, drop your head, and then slowly roll yourself up to stand. Let your head be the last thing to arrive. You're nice and heavy, all the way up, and then we're gonna move all the way back down. Pull your chin to your chest, soften through your knees as you roll through the spine, and come back to forward fold. And we're gonna take that a few more times. Just finding this unfurling sensation through your spine as you lift and lower. And you can always have a bit of buoyancy in your knees so you're not locked through your knee joint. We'll take 2 more sets of this and really just allow yourself to be very meticulous as you move up and down through the spine. Take your time, there's no rush here to get anywhere. And just feel that articulation in both directions. And then on your next forward fold, bend your knees a lot, send your hips down, reach your arms up into a chair pose, bring your hands back to prayer. We're gonna alternate lifting the heels once again, so try to keep your hips nice and low and just an easy alternating of the heels. So we find a little bit of activation into the calves and the Achilles. We find a sense of balance here, core is activated, palms are pressing together. And take a few more, just treading through the heels, lots of control. Keep your heels down, reach your arms up, chair pose. One more big breath, forward fold, come down. We set everything up on the second side. So this time step your right foot so it comes far back behind you. Keep your left foot in front. You're in this 90-90 lunge. Reach your arms up overhead. You're nice and tall through your spine. And then make a prayer and bring your right elbow over towards your left thigh. Push your top palm into your bottom palm and try to rotate your ribs, your heart space open to the ceiling as you energize out of the crown of your head. You can keep your palms together or maybe you want to fly your arms. That can be a nice variation. Take a few more breaths here for rotation. And then bring both of your hands inside of your left foot. Rotate, swivel your back right ankle and extend the left leg. Now reach your right arm way out to the side. Reach your left arm over your left ear. Try to keep your head and your neck neutral. Look straight forward instead of up to the ceiling. And then bend your left elbow and put it behind your head. And then feel the sensation of your skull, your hips, and your extended ankle being in the same line. And almost like you could use your left hand to pull your head away from the body just to find a bit of extra traction into the neck. Release this, turn out your left toes, bend into your left knee. We're gonna take this side body stretch again. So your left hand is gonna go way in front of your left thigh. And then your right arm can reach up and over. This really nice rib flush, stretching into the right side rib cage, even getting into the right side back, and maybe even finding a little bit of opening into the left calf and Achilles. Head is neutral, chin is neutral. Can you stretch a little further over to the left? Bring your right hand down, step into your left foot, you're in a forward fold. Soften through your knees, roll yourself all the way up to stand. Lift your arms up to the ceiling and take just a small little back bend. Push the hips forward, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Soften through your knees. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Think of the length you can create through the spine as you lift up. And then exhale, lower. Bring your hands down, step your feet back. You're in a high plank. And then lower your hips down so you're coming into either an upward facing dog or a cobra. That's up to you. You can lower your thighs down to the ground and take a moment here. Push down into the ground and allow your ears just to tip from side to side. So we're getting a little bit of neck and shoulder. Lower your belly all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands so they come behind your head. Your elbows are wide to the side. Lift your head and your elbows up off the ground. Push down through the tops of your feet for a moment. Just find the length you can find through the back of your neck. And now lift your feet up off the ground. So we're really starting to find a lot of length through the body. Extend your fingertips forward and keep energetically stretching your toes back long behind you. So you're long through both sides of your waist, long through the backs and sides of your neck. Think length before height. Take one more big breath in. And with control, lower yourself all the way down. Hands under shoulders, child's pose. Press your hips back to heels. Just an opportunity as a little counter stretch. Find a little rounding through your spine. Reconnect with your breath. Fill the space between your shoulder blades. And then start to roll yourself up to a kneeling position. We're going to end the same way that we started in this kneeling position. Bring one hand so it's resting on your pelvis and the other hand so it's resting behind your skull. And maybe you notice any just slight differences that you feel in your posture. Maybe you're standing a little bit taller, sitting a little bit taller, or you can feel your breath a little bit deeper into your belly. Give yourself a few moments just to recognize your efforts, taking the time to show up for your health and well-being. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.